It is my pleasure to introduce our second presenter today, Karen Pery and Wake Up Wednesdays. And it's actually really hard for me to introduce Karen Pery because she's one of my favorite people in the world and one of my very best friends. And so it's hard for me to find the right words to introduce her to you because the things I know about her are probably not appropriate to tell you. But Karen Pery is currently president-elect of the International Coach Federation in Los Angeles. She is one of the idea coaches for LEA. And she's also a remarkable coach and leadership trainer and is a partner in Leadership Lab, does some remarkable work in the world. And what I love most about Karen's work is that she's really fiercely committed to helping people remember that they're here for a reason and that it's supposed to be fun. So please join me in welcoming Karen Pery.
And if I need my notes, I'm going to go there. So, hi. A couple months ago, and Carrie was there, and I'm going to tell a story, and you're going to hear it, you're like, oh, I was there. I do experiential leadership training, and a couple months ago, I had a group of coaches, business leaders, consultants together, and everyone's self-employed for the most part. And we're trying to make this thing happen. There's an activity that we're trying to make happen. And by the way, we're outside and it's with horses, working with leaders and horses. And so we're standing in a big square, all of us, and I was going to try and figure out if we could do this in this room. And my husband said, but you don't have a horse, like not a real horse, metaphorically a horse. So we're trying to get this horse to do something with us as this group. We couldn't do it. And Carrie's standing next to me, and we're trying to get our energy moving. Oh, and it was silent, by the way, too. So we're trying to get stuff to move. We're trying to get stuff to happen. And we couldn't get it to happen. And it was really frustrating because we're all, independent entrepreneurs. We make things happen in the world. And nothing was happening. And so it was frustrating. I think I would both agree. Like, there was nothing more we could do to get this happening. And so as we were talking about it as a group afterwards, we were sitting in a debrief, and it occurred to me that one of the big problems that we have in doing our own work in the world is that we're only doing our own work in the world, and that we miss out on water coolers, coffee talk, that there's these corporations in the world, the Googles, the Pixars, the places where there's innovation and creativity happening all the time, and by design they have these community spaces where people are destined to run into each other. Not necessarily to talk about the work, but to talk about things. And the great quote is, which is not even what we're saying, you never know when the breakthrough's going to happen. And so I started thinking about, for all of us who got into business for ourselves, to have flexibility and freedom and be able to create the lives we want, we are often creating little prison cells at our desks, at our Starbucks, at our whatever, that we don't leave. And we have these great ideas for what we want to do, and yet we isolate. And then when we go out in the world, it's to network and to sell and to schmooze, and we don't get to just be ourselves and be fun. So I came up with Wake Up Wednesdays. And Wake Up Wednesday is an antidote to all that. So Wake Up Wednesday is not networking. It's not inside, hopefully, as much as possible. And it is a creative community space for people to come together and be people together. We're starting actually in 2.5 weeks. We're starting the first Wake Up Wednesday. And I'm looking at it as, yes, it's event-based, yes, it's a community gathering, but what I'm looking for is a place to create a movement that for those of us who are creative, innovative entrepreneurs, that we're not just talking to ourselves, we're not just talking to people who do the work we do, we're starting to interact with people who do stuff that we don't do so that we can have these breakthrough kind of conversations. It's known in the world, I'm going to get it wrong, so I'm going to look at my notes. There's this great quote. These gathering places are called third places often. If the first place is home, second place is office, there's a third place that's this community gathering place. And this quote from this book, it's a great book called Imagine, How Creativity Works by Jonah Lehrer. It says, these shared areas have played an outsized role in the history of new ideas, from the coffee houses of 18th century England where citizens gathered to discuss chemistry and radical politics, to the left bank bars of modernist Paris frequented by Picasso and Gertrude Stein. The virtue of these third places is that they bring together a diversity of talent, allowing people to freely interact while ingesting some caffeine or alcohol. So I am not promising, or both. Wake Up Wednesdays, we're looking at starting with an hour and a half on Wednesdays. We're starting with miniature golf, which is a low barrier to entry activity. My goal is that we're gonna be doing trapeze, we're gonna do circus school, we're gonna do ice skating hopefully in January. Rock climbing is on my list. But get people out of your office, out of your head, back into creativity, and back into the fun part of working for ourselves, because that's why we do this. And that way, when we're more fun, our work is more fun, and the world is a better place to live. That's my big idea.